The collapse of the Russian-Syrian front in Syria marked a dramatic shift in the ongoing conflict, as rebel forces achieved significant territorial gains and shattered the perception of Russian-backed government invincibility. The breakdown resulted from a combination of intensified rebel offensives, strategic missteps by the Syrian army, and logistical strain on Russian forces operating far from home. High-profile battles exposed vulnerabilities in Syrian and Russian military coordination, with rebel factions leveraging advanced weaponry and exploiting weak defensive positions. The collapse not only reshaped the dynamics of the Syrian civil war, but also raised questions about Moscow's ability to sustain its influence in the region amid mounting challenges. The Syrian army reports that a large number of foreign mercenaries have been observed among the militants attacking the provinces of Aleppo and Idlib. Come on, say the U word. Syrian opposition forces have advanced into Aleppo from the west, encountering no resistance in New Aleppo, Assad's biggest military defeat in 13 years of civil war. The major landmark in the center of New Aleppo, the statue Bashar's deceased brother Bashar al-Assad, is under Syrian rebel control. This area was never under rebel control before. Russians are blaming the Syrians themselves for the ongoing collapse. The irony is hard to miss, considering that just a couple of years ago, they mocked the US for withdrawing from Afghanistan for almost identical reasons. And now, it seems, it might be their turn. Only this time, the consequences will be much more severe. Let's be honest, the situation in Syria is complicated by the behavior of the Syrians themselves. It is absolutely true that the flower of the nation was lost in the first years of the war that began in 2011. But what was left was eaten up by corruption, nepotism, economic chaos, and an unwillingness to change anything. We wrote in detail about the risks of a renewed global conflict in Syria, the beginning of an offensive by Idlib militants already happening. 1. The rise of unruly tribes and banditry in the south, not yet observed. Activity of ISIS militants fed by the US, so far isolated raids. If you put all this together, you get an extremely unsightly picture. Syria can simply be taken and dismembered, returning to the worst scenario of 10 years ago. The current fall of Aleppo, which survived then, is a direct consequence of the unresolved Syrian conflict when it needed to be done. And this is also a very difficult lesson that all people who believe that Minsk III might be possible will need to learn. Russian channels specializing in naval topics are growing concerned about their base in Tartus, the Russian Navy's only repair and replenishment point in the Mediterranean. Escalation in Syria and the Tartus base. The pace of the militants' offensive, their numbers, the direct involvement of Turkish military forces, and the yet unused trump card, American terrorist units in eastern Syria, which have not yet been deployed in combat, along with the performance of the Syrian Arab army units, suggest that the Russian Navy's presence in the Mediterranean might be in jeopardy. While Russia might still be able to allocate aviation support for Syria, deploying troops to defend at least Tartus, such as naval infantry since it's a naval base, is currently a major challenge. Unless conscripts are brought into play, we'll see how the situation develops, but the risk is very real and growing. An explosion occurred at the site of a Russian surface-to-air missile complex in Vitino, occupied Crimea, possibly destroying an S-400 system, along with its ammunition. In the morning, at about 9 a.m., local telegram channels published footage of an explosion that visually resembled the detonation of rocket fuel, which can be observed at the moment of the defeat of anti-aircraft missile systems. The Ukrainian GeoEnt project Cyberboroshno geolocated the shooting and the area of the explosion near the village of Kurhana, the Simferopol district. Near the field where the SAM was hit is a former S-400 stationary position. It stopped being used after constant missile and UAV attacks on Crimea. However, the position and the field are located at a height, so it is likely that today the SAM decided to take up firing position in the field due to the good topography for this, the project analysts said. Visually, the explosion is indeed comparable to the footage that previously recorded the detonation of a warhead of large S-300 or S-400 missile systems. An example is the destruction of Russian S-400 Triumph missile launchers in Crimea last August, which was filmed by a reconnaissance drone of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine. The detonation resulted in a similarly sized cloud of white smoke with traces of solid rocket fuel flying in different directions. Just a day earlier, on November 28th, the press service of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine reported the destruction of a Russian 48 YA-6-K1 podlet radar in Crimea. This mobile radar was located at a considerable distance from the village of Kotovsky in the west of the temporarily occupied peninsula. Its destruction could have helped Ukrainian weapons to bypass air defense. The podlet is designed to autonomously monitor airspace and provide targeting guidance for S-300 and S-400 air defense systems. Earlier today, a unit of the Unmanned Systems Forces hit the radar of a Buk M3 missile system in the Zaporizhzhia direction. According to Ukrainian intelligence, HUR, North Korea has transferred to Russia over 100 pieces of equipment of various types, including M1989, 170mm self-propelled artillery, M1991, 240mm multiple rocket launchers, 100 KN-23 missiles, and at least 5 million shells. In Tbilisi, protesters have once again gathered in front of the Parliament building to demonstrate against the postponement of negotiations for joining the European Union. Yesterday's protests ended with a violent crackdown and arrests. Today, protesters are launching fireworks at the Parliament. President of Georgia, Salome Zurabishvili, called on the police officers to stop using force against citizens, media report. Protesters are trying to break down Parliament gates. People are thrown down by the flood of water from the water cannon. Russia's interference in Georgia's election is a calculated move to install a pro-Russian government and undermine the country's democratic progress. Through cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and funding of sympathetic candidates, Moscow seeks to destabilize Georgia and pull it back into its sphere of influence. Fake news floods social media, sowing division among voters, while covert operations target critical institutions. This isn't just an attack on Georgia. It's a warning to other nations striving for independence. Will democracy prevail, or will foreign meddling decide the future?
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.